Today we're going to talk about quadrilaterals and their diagonals. So a diagonal is a segment that extends from one corner to the opposite corner. So a segment that connects one corner to the opposite corner. So for example, if we drew a rectangle, diagonal, if it started in this corner, it'd be a segment that would go all the way to the opposite corner. A diagonal could also obviously go the other way. Make sure you pause this video if you need to in order to catch up to write things down. Okay, so with diagonals, there's the diagonal theorem. And the diagonal theorem says if you have a diagonal and a parallelogram, then the diagonal creates two congruent angles. So to simplify that, let's say we'll just say a diagonal creates two congruent angles. And we'll show you here in this picture what that really means. So go ahead and draw this picture either, in this little box that you have on your page or wherever you have room. So what this means is this angle and this angle are congruent. You can see that they're both a little bigger, and that makes sense that they're congruent. And then that these two would also be congruent. So let's pretend that this angle was 60 degrees. That would mean that this one's 60 degrees. If this one's 30 degrees, and this is 30 degrees. So essentially, the diagonal just splits it so that the opposite corners will be congruent to each other. And that's all you're going to be using today to solve your problems. So for example here, these are like some of them that will be on your worksheet today. This corner and this corner are congruent, so therefore x is 70. It really is that simple. All you're basically doing is setting stuff equal to each other today. Another one here. We know this diagonal sets them equal to each other, so we'll just set these equal to each other. Okay, we know to solve this equation, we would subtract 10 to each side. And then to keep going, we divide by 2. So then x is 20. These are all the types of problems you'll be having today. All you need to do is set them equal to each other. Okay, so why don't you try this one, write it down on your paper wherever you have room, and then when you're ready, play the video so that way you can check your answer. Okay, I will start writing it out. If you haven't finished solving it yet, pause it, and then look when you're done. So I'm going to subtract 2x to this side. And I'm going to subtract 20 to the other side. And finally I'll divide by 2. Alright, we'll go over one more type here. This one's a little bit tricky, but once we step through it, it'll make a little bit more sense. So we know that this angle and this angle are congruent, and that this angle and this angle are congruent. So, right now we have x and 50 that are crossing each other, but those aren't the ones that we know are congruent, so we need to do a little bit of work to make that true. One other thing we know is that these arcs that are here also mean congruent. So if this angle is 50, so is this angle. Now before we marked these in red saying that they're congruent, so now that we know that one's 50, we can also say x is 50. Okay, if that was a little bit confusing, that's okay, and we'll talk about that a little bit more tomorrow. But otherwise, essentially, in all of these slides, all you're doing is set them equal to each other. So today you have an assignment. It's not going to probably take you very long, and that's okay. Let's check it tomorrow during class. Maybe we'll check it right at the beginning. We'll do everybody's together. Only reminders I have for you is you have a vocab quiz Friday. Your next quiz will be next Wednesday, and a test the Friday after that. I'll get you your vocab words tomorrow. Okay, have a good day.